What's up, guys? So today we're going to be checking out the Floyd Rose 1984 edition versus the Gotoh. I think it's the Ge1996T. This boy. Both fantastic bridges. In my opinion, they are the two best ones on the market right now. I think the Floyd Rose originals made in Germany aren't nearly as good as the old ones, but these ones definitely are. These 84 editions are incredible. So, yeah, dude, let's check out the flutter on both of these, because that's something you can't really describe. And I'll just tell you a little bit about the feel of them, like how they feel to use them, because they have a different feel to them, and different arms too. So on this one, I installed the push-in style arm, that similar to what comes with the Gotoh, but it's actually made by Floyd Rose. And it's got the stock big block in it, and it just rips, dude. This bridge... listen to this flutter, man. That's nuts, man. So it has a very smooth, linear feel. It's very smooth, not as touchy as the Gotoh. The Gotoh's stiff and touchy, and I kind of like that because it feels aggressive. But this is smooth and it's just super buttery smooth, man. So yeah, man, they both stay in tune perfectly. No issues there with either of them. They're both very well made. We'll go over a little bit more on the fit and finish of this one, or actually both of them when we get the up close stuff going on. But both very well made, and the Gotoh is, I feel like the design of the Gotoh is better. You have more range, forward and backwards for intonation, which on this guitar, this had a Floyd Rose 1000 on it, and I play in drop B, or at least I was at the time, and I could not intonate my low B string. It just, the saddle could not go back far enough. I threw on the Gotoh, and on that saddle I had to replace the factory Gotoh locking bolt here with the Floyd Rose one that's shorter, but I was able to totally intonate it and have plenty of room to go. You also, the fine tuners, I like how they're swept back, and they have much, like at least twice as much range of fine-tuning up and down. So, you know, as strings get older and they stretch out, a lot of times you have to retune, you know, loosen up the locking nut and retune because you run out of the available thread to fine-tune with the fine-tuners on a regular Floyd Rose. Never an issue with this. I love the push-in arm, and I love that it sits up so tall, up high. The original arm that comes with the 84 on the soloist, it's the screw-in kind, which I love the feel of because there's absolutely no play, but it sits really close to the body of the guitar, so when you're diving you end up hitting your knuckles or your hand. You have to like flat palm it to dive low, and I just didn't like that, so I put the push-in one on. It's got just the tiniest, almost imperceivable amount. This thing is really pushing my shirt down, dude. Amount of slop, but it's no big deal. So the flutter on this one, very lost my pick. There it is. It doesn't really flutter at all. These have the same strings, MYXL 11 to 56. They're both in C sharp. They both have extremely similar setups, and they both have brand new Floyd Rose branded noiseless springs. This one has a reproduction of a stock block for it, which is much smaller than the big block on the 84. It's actually made by Philadelphia Luthier Supply. I need to get a different length for the block, and they make one that looks almost completely identical to the stock one. Probably will put a big block in this one. I think it'll help with the flutter. It might give me a little more sustain. This guitar is kind of lacking in that department, so might be a good thing. But overall, just the feel of it's much stiffer and more precise. Very precise, but stiff. Oh, and I got these springs at exactly the same time. I installed them both on these guitars, so it's not like one of them's worn out and the other's not. I like the feel of this one too. I'd be happy with either for sure, but let's go look closer at them, and then we'll make our decision. Alright guys, today I have a Floyd Rose shootout. We've got the limited edition 1984 Floyd Rose original. We've got a Made in Korea 1000 series and a Gotoh Ge1996T trem. And I'm going to talk about these three and kind of show you them up close and kind of let you know what I think about each one. I've used all of them. They all rock, dude. They're all awesome. But let's start off with the 1000. This is what comes on most production guitars over a certain price point. This one I installed a big brass block on. That helps increase sustain, and I think maybe it changes the tone a little bit when it's unplugged, but mostly just increases sustain. But it also makes the bar heavier and a little more clunky to use. But this one's been around a while, and it's holding up great. It flutters well. It's pretty well made. My only complaint with the 1000s is the fine tuners are pretty rough, and they have a lot of play in them. And I'm not sure if the steel is actually as hard as an original Floyd Rose, but it's pretty hard. This one's lasted a long time. There are some kind of shortcuts they take. If you see this bend here, it got kind of funky. And down there, let's see if I can, yeah, see that right there? The metal actually broke when they bent it. It's kind of crazy. But it works just fine. I think the locking blocks are not as good as the original ones, and the screws too. I think they're made in a different factory. So this is the limited edition 1984, and this thing is amazing. Some of the differences between this and a normal Floyd, whether it's a 1000 or a Floyd Rose original, current production model, made in Germany. Obviously, you've got the bare brass fine tuners here, and there's a new updated, I think they're doing this on the German ones too. The shape of the locking blocks is different, and I think that's supposed to help something. I'm not sure what, but they're really well made and they fit really well, and the fit and finish on this is just exceptional. Like, this is, whoa, there we go. This is a very, very finely crafted. Look at this joint right here, you know, compared to the 1000. No broken metal down there. Everything is just extremely smooth and like perfectly machined. This is a really like beautiful you know, piece of hardware. It's so finely machined and made, and it's just so nice. Like, I'm really impressed. I really love this thing. It also comes with a 10-inch radius instead of, I think, what do they come with, a 12 normally? So I had to shim this one up quite a bit to work on a Jackson. But really love this thing. It's got a very, very nice flutter to it, and it's just really smooth. And it comes, this is the other difference, the last one. It comes with this old style swing-in arm that you've got to actually, you know, spin around to get on and off all the way. And I like it, but it sits really low on the guitar. So if you have a guitar with the trem that's like the top is level with the body, you might want a different arm because it's just so close to the body. Of course, this is what comes with a Floyd Rose 1000 or a German Floyd Rose original. This is actually a German one. Yeah, these kind of suck. They always have play in them, and they never like. I like to play where the thing is like stuck in one spot. It's not flopping around, you know. And to do that with one of these regular Floyd Rose trem arms, it never works out. It always ends up flopping around and it drives me crazy. And when you pull it up and down, there's a bunch of slop in there and a bunch of play, so it just feels bad. The screw-in arm is the best one. It has absolutely zero play. This one, I installed a Floyd Rose push-in arm, which is a lot easier to do when the thing is mounted on the guitar. Wow. So you just pull it out. It's the exact same system with the Gotoh, and I really like it. You just pull it out and pop it in, and there's a little screw on the back where you can adjust the tension so you can adjust how much it stays in one place. It's really nice. You get a little bit of slop with this, not much, very little. Gotoh has none. It has the same style, except on this bridge, let's see, let me put this one back in. One-handed. Bam! So notice the distance from here, you know, to the plate. I wish I could move my light. All right, now look at the 1000. There we go. Focus, dude. Focus, dude. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Look at that difference, man. It's huge. So when you're actually playing the guitar, it's really nice to have this Gotoh one, and it also, the bend here. See how this one's mostly straight and this one goes off to the left? Sounds like someone I know. This is... Alright, so this is the bend of all the arms. You can see they're all a little different. And maybe I can set them all up like this too. So you can see the height of the bars. Hopefully I got enough aperture for that. Yeah. So anyway, that's the physical differences. The 1984 also comes with this this big block installed, which is a little bit fatter than the ones they sell. These are the ones they sell, and 1984 is just a tad fatter and a different texture. Kind of crazy. This is the one that Gotoh comes with, also brass, but let me get on the side of the light. There we go. It's a lot thinner, and that changes the feel. And that's one thing I really like about the Gotoh, is it's by far the most precise. This is off a Floyd Rose 1000. Something very similar comes with the German original Floyd Rose. So the feel of the Gotoh, it's very sensitive, and but it's also smooth at the same time somehow. I think it has the most articulate feel. You can really mess with your notes and go crazy. It doesn't have the best flutter. The Flutter King is definitely the 1984. This one, the feel is a little more sluggish, but positive. When I really get into it, I don't find that I go completely insane with this. When I really get into it and start going crazy, this gets, it's too much, if that makes any sense. I go too crazy with this thing, and it's harder to control. So if you're more of a subtle, sensual player, maybe this is the one. If you're more of a Carry King, maybe this one. This one is kind of, feels more like this one, but it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same. Even with, you know, if they had the same arms and the same blocks on them, this just doesn't feel as good as this, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's the weight or the materials. It seems like the angle of the blades is exactly the same. I mean, this one's cleaner, but I'm not sure. But they're all great. The Gotoh has way more adjustability for intonation, and also the fine tuners have probably twice as much adjustability. So that's a really, really nice thing with these. The bolts on the back do stick out a bit farther, and some guitars you have to replace them. And I use just regular Floyd Rose original, you know, these guys on here, and they are shorter and everything fits and lines up. It just doesn't look as cool. These factory bolts have this like kind of gunmetal color to them, and I'm not sure if they're titanium or not, or what they're made out of, but they're super freaking hard. They're really nice, so I like to leave these on when I can. Also, the this blade is obviously straight and not curved like all the other ones. So if your posts aren't a perfect match, you don't really have to worry with this one, as long as this one's not off too much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Fine tuners on this are perfect. You know, everything on this is just so well machined, and it's just a work of art. And it looks cool, and it looks traditional, and it looks badass, and you know, it looks like something from 1984. This one is like a super modern looking, you know, killer bridge, and I absolutely love these. I really do. The metal's super hard. They're super well made. though not quite as well as the 1984, which this is made much better than a Floyd Rose original. If you can still get these, buy one, because they're limited edition. Who knows how long they're going to make them. They're amazing. Just go buy one. You'll someday have your dream guitar if you don't already, and this is perfect for it. This is like the ultimate trem. This one comes really damn close, though. It's just the fit and finish isn't quite as good, and it doesn't look as, I guess, generic. I don't know. This has a special look that doesn't work on every guitar. It can be too modern looking and different looking. In some guitars, you just want the classic, the original. You know what I mean? So here are some of the other parts that are different. This is a Gotoh spring, and they are super strong. They're like the red Floyd Rose noiseless springs. They're really strong, and I don't like how firm they are. I like a light feel. So this is a Floyd Rose noiseless spring. I have not noticed a difference in noise between these two, but I haven't been really looking for it. I love the feel of these black noiseless springs, though, and they look cool, so I just always buy these. These are nuts. This is the nut that came with the Floyd Rose 1984, and it actually, like machining-wise, doesn't look as good as the Floyd Rose 1001, but I can tell you this is some of the hardest freaking metal ever. It was so difficult to sand this down. It took forever. This metal is insanely strong, so it stays. This is the Floyd Rose 1001. It's much lighter. It's much nice. The machining on it looks much nicer, and it works. And it'll probably work for the life of a guitar. If not, you know, get a German one, but you might have to sand it down. This is the shim that I use. You can buy these from All Parts. You can shim up saddles. I usually, on a Floyd Rose, like a made in Germany or one of these 1000 ones, I'll just put one under the low E, and that usually gets me where I want to be. But this one's a 10-inch radius, you know, trying to go to, you know, what's effectively a 16 to 18 or something. I had to shim this one up quite a bit to get it to work on a Jackson. So these are the posts. This is what comes with the 1984, the old wood mount ones like they used to use. I'm not using those. Of course, mine are the ones that came with mine were black. This is the Gotoh one, and this has a similar design to the original Edge trems that Ibanez used. They have another screw inside that locks this in place, and it is such a wonderful design, and I absolutely love it. But these are huge, so you have to drill a ton of material out of your guitar. This is a Floyd Rose stud and bushing. Like, you just have to remove so much material to make these work, and most of the time there's just not enough material there. I just don't want to cut it out, you know, so I don't use them. It sucks. I wish I could find Floyd Rose sized ones. If you guys know of those that exist, man, let me know. Or if you want to go into business, I don't know. Oh my god, I do know someone. I gotta talk to Joe. That's nuts, man.